So we have a support level at 202. If it will hold, then we can definitely try to look for the upside, probably all the way up, first of all, to those levels from the pre and after market around the 206. And if we will break through them, definitely the 208. Hey guys, welcome to another lesson of pre-market preparation. This is the last lesson of the crash course. We talked about basically everything from finding the right stock, understanding what we're looking for, finding the right stock, analyzing it, building scanners, building a watch list, creating scenarios and all of that. And today I want to summarize everything in one take. So what I'll do is go from A to Z in this lesson and show you how I do it every single day trading stocks. Let's begin. Okay, so the first lesson that we had is analyzing the market. So obviously, like I've mentioned in the previous lessons, and if you didn't watch them, go ahead and do that. What we first do is go and analyze the market, either the futures, the S&P and the NASDAQ, or just go to the ETF, the SPY and the QQQ. I usually go with the futures. They are running 23 hours a day, so it's simpler. And also you see a lot of the things that you probably won't see on the SPY and the Qs. So that's what I'll do. If you're doing it on a regular basis, you don't have to do that all the time because you already know what the market is doing. Before we'll dive into that, please make sure you subscribe and like, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We are uploading lots of content for you guys, so please make sure you share it and like it so we can continue to grow our channel. Thanks on that. So NASDAQ 15-minute chart, and you can go to the 1H as well, pushing higher from a support level, creating, playing with this channel, nicely done channel, and basically at the moment, as you can see, is dropping to a smaller support level right here. Tinier, and if it will hold this level, we will probably see it go all the way up again to the high of the channel. In case we will drop down just a little bit more, we will probably gonna hold this support level, and only from that point understand if the price continue furthermore to the downside or bouncing up, crossing the channel and reaching new highs, at least for the last few days or weeks. So this is what I'm looking for right now at the NASDAQ, kind of in the middle. I need to see, we got 30 minutes to the opening bell, so we'll see how it will play along. And the S&P, the ES future, also been trading in a nice channel right here. So you can see that the lower levels creating support, and if I'm duplicating that, you can see the resistance level as well, very similar to the NASDAQ. And right now we are kind of in the middle of the direction of the price action. So either dropping down, holding this support level, bouncing from that all the way to the upper level, or going straight up to the upper level. Those are the two scenarios that I'm watching right now. The third one will be breaking the level, so going down, holding it for a little bit, bouncing just tiny bit up and break it to the downside. And if we will see that move, then there is a great support level right here, as you can see, between the 4,180 all the way to 4,160. So this is a major demand level. Again, you can also go ahead and watch the VIX, the volatility index. So it can indicate basically the opposite direction of the S&P. So if the price will continue to rise, the S&P will drop down, and the opposite. And as you can see right now, the VIX has also been trading in a channel, and you can withdraw it just like that. And you see that we have, again, we're in the middle of the range, and we got plenty of room to the upside and the downside. So today is a bit trickier, but we will see probably in the first hour or so of the trading day, we will see if the direction is up or down, and from that point we will decide on the market as well. So this is what I'm watching at the moment on the market, and this is how you analyze it. Obviously, again, if you didn't trade for a while, then you want to go just a little bit deeper, and you will start from the daily chart, then go to the 4-hour, 1 hour, and then drill down to the 15. But when you're doing it on a regular basis and you're watching the market all day long, you remember and know how it goes. And from that point, you don't need really the whole charade. So from here, I'm going to the charts, looking for the one stock or two stocks, or even, we're in the middle of the earnings season. So we got plenty of stocks that report in either aftermarket or pre-market. And we can actually find 5 or even 10 stocks for this day. And from those 5 or 10s, I still want to drill down and find the exact or the right ones, and not just looking for 10s, because 10 of them could be a little bit hard to watch simultaneously. So what I'll do, I'll go to the scanner. Again, what I'm using is usually a pre-market scanner, super simple, and all kind of platforms have this scanner of pre-market or gainers, losers, stuff like that. And what I'm watching is 2 main parameters. The first one, actually 3. The first one is the volume. I want to see a nice volume coming in. And again, we are at, let's say, 20 minutes before the opening bell. So I want to see a volume with at least 400,000 shares, volume of 400,000. That will be my minimum at this point at 20 minutes before the opening bell. Usually I would prefer to see millions of shares switching hands, so basically the volume. The other parameter that I'm watching is the net change, the pre-market net change, basically. You can look at it also in percentage. I prefer to see dollars. And lastly, I would look at the last price. So just to see that the price of the stock is above, let's say, $10, $15. I usually won't trade those small cap stocks, the penny stocks, the $2, the $1. I don't like it. Not saying that it's not good to trade them. There are a lot of traders that have been doing that, but I don't see really an edge there, at least in my opinion, the way I trade, So, okay, so let's try to find those stocks. So like I said, I'm looking at the last price, and I can see STAB, although it's got 24 million shares, it's like 20 cents share, so I don't mind for that. I'm going for the big ones. TDOC, TDOC, $55, minus $24 today, and more than 3 million shares. That's the reason behind it, and this is the next step that I'm doing, is watching the news and understanding why it's dropping that rapidly. And as you can see, it stats on the chart. It's basically earnings. So this is why it's dropping. You can see that the stats is saying that the estimate was minus 0.54, but the actual was minus 41. I mean, crazy numbers. Obviously, you can go a little bit deeper to that if you want to see, more of the results of the report. And most of the time for day trading, you don't really need that. If you're looking for maybe swing trading, definitely go ahead and read just a little bit more to understand if the price should continue higher for the next 2-3 weeks, or actually continue to the downside, or actually could reverse. From that point, when I see TDOC, obviously it's interesting, got all the volume that I need, the move, $24, minus $24, and the news that backing it up. So what I need to do is now analyzing it. So I can see it was aftermarket of yesterday, around the $56, dropping to 31, 32. What I'm doing is going to the 1 hour chart without the pre-market, And what I'm looking for is basically a support and resistance levels that right now the stock's been trading it. So 31, I should take actually, let's see if I can sit on a 1H. Only got 360 days to go back now. So I got to go with the daily chart. Look at that. About a year ago, it was $300. Today, traded at 31. Crazy. So I'm going to the area of the $31, $32. And what I want to see and what I want to do is basically mark the levels that could act as support and resistance along the trading session. So let's look at that. So you can see that the 32 could be a nice support or resistance in this case, at least, area. You can see those two bottom right here. And even if we're going back, you can see that the area is playing as resistance and support, could act as resistance or support. So I will definitely mark that. It's actually a little bit higher. I always aim to set my resistance line or support line closer to the close of the red candle or the open candle, the green open candle. So 31.20, that should be a nice level. And if we will drop from that level, you can see that, again, the area, it's not, this one actually. It's a level, not a specific price most of the time. So this should be another area, another place that the price should bounce from, around the 27.60. So those are the two levels that I'm watching right now, TDOC. After I'm doing that, I'm going to the 1 minute chart and trying to build scenarios around the levels that I'm marking. So I'll add the pre-market. We can see the full drop from yesterday. And right now you can see that we're playing with the support level that I marked just a second ago. So a few things that I can understand from this. First of all, it reached a major support level. You can see the volume coming in at the bottom. That's always a good sign that it should pop up. And either we will see a bounce from this area, or if we will break this level, we should continue all the way to the downside, maybe even reaching the 28 area, the 27.60. So my scenarios should be like that. Either going up, breaking through this EMA, the 200 EMA, moving average, breaking through that, retesting it as support and moving all the way up. One scenario that I will jump on. Or the other option is breaking this support level, retesting it as well, and from that point I will go short. So those are two scenarios that I'm aiming for and watching. Now, since I did that, I will be much prepared when I'll see it happening in front of my eyes during the live session, and that way I don't need really to think it over or, afraid to take the trade, because I already know what I'm planning, and if I'm seeing that, I know that this is the trade that I need to take. This is the system that I'm doing, working with. So those are the two scenarios. One of them will probably happen, and if so, I will jump on the trade. Simply as that. But remember, this is the right stock to trade today. So this is why I'm doing that. If it wasn't enough volume or the movement or the news, then it doesn't really matter how many beautiful lines you will draw on your chart. At the end, it won't be the right one to trade. So this is TDOC. As soon as I do that, I have one more chart right here on the other screen. And what I'll do is just type in TDOC. And now I can continue to watch it. Simply as that. Let's go to the scanner and see if we have another one. Facebook is after earnings as well, and also dropped majorly the last couple of months. So Facebook is up $27. Volume obviously above 3 million. So looking pretty sharply. Look at the move after the earnings of yesterday close, moving nicely all the way up to 210, dropping down to 200. A great number to watch. And from here, all I need to do is go to the 1H and understand where the next support and resistance level. So we're opening around the 202. So I need to check where the support and resistance level around this area of 202. So let's start with the easy one right here above, because that will be pretty simple to watch for. This is the gap that's still open. So those levels between the 214 and 216 will act as resistance as soon as we'll reach them. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow. But at the end, they will act as resistance, should act as resistance. Another one that is right here, the previous gap. I know it's already been closed, but it didn't act as support when we reached that first time. So it should react as support now. But again, it's a bit far, 195, although Facebook knows how to move easily $5, $6. I'm trying to find those levels, the closer one, and it should be this one. Let's see it. Yeah, right here, the 202. So those highs basically reacted as a resistance before the drop. Then we broke through that level. There's a nice tail touching it here, and we broke through that. And before we did all of that, we held that 202 as a support level. So right now we have a nice level that acting right now acting as support, because we are at 203 almost. One more level that we can mark is this one, the 208.50, around that area. And you can also watch the 200 EMA. Look at that, how we played as resistant, became support, then resistant again. So if we'll touch that again today, if we'll touch the 200 EMA, we should see at a 1 hour, we should see a resistance again, at least for the beginning. If it will play along with this resistance level at 208.50, it should be a great opportunity to short Facebook around this area. So those are the levels that I'm watching right now. Let's go put some drawing on Facebook. So I'm taking the 1 minute chart. I'm looking at 1 minute with the pre-market. I see that there was a nice bounce up from 199, sorry, all the way to 303. And we're also above the 200 EMA on a 1 minute chart. So this is a good sign, a strength for strengthening. And maybe we will see a continuation from this area. So we have a support level at 202. If it will hold, then we can definitely try to look for the upside, probably all the way up, first of all, to those levels from the pre and after market, around the 206. And if we will break through them, definitely the 208, 9, those levels from after market that reacted as resistance, it should react again. If we will drop from this level, then we have plenty of room to the downside. So maybe, only maybe, breaking this level, retesting it, and dropping. So those two of the scenarios that I want to see, actually, it looks pretty good to the upside. So I wouldn't mind go long around the 202 if the price will drop. And then from that point, taking it all the way up to 206 and then 208. So this is Facebook, looking pretty good. I got it on the other screen as well. Let's try to find two more. I see BTU dropping $3, 2 million shares, more than that, $26 per share. Nice drop from 28. Now bouncing up just a little bit. Let's take the 1H. Also reports, like earning reports. So let's say 23 at the moment, 23.50. So let's go to those numbers and try to figure out if we got support or resistance level. There are plenty of gaps, as you can see. The first one is definitely the one that I'm marking right now at 22.60. This should be a great level to hold it. Support level. If we'll go up, the 24.20 can act as resistance. That's the close of the gap. The gap is still open. We didn't touch the close, so it should act as a resistance as well. And just maybe the 23.40, those lows right here. So not a lot of room to play with, and maybe this is the most important stock to watch, or not to watch, to analyze and understand, maybe not to trade it today, because there's not a lot of place, not a lot of room to play with. It already went down to the 21, held the support level, as you can see here, pop up, and now is stuck between two levels. Let's see if I have another one, maybe just before the 22.50, just below it. So yeah, this close of the gap, 21, then another gap. To be honest, I don't like it. There are too many support and resistance level along the way. The stops will be tinier, will be small, so maybe we can play with it. But this is not something that I usually would like to trade, just because it doesn't have enough room to play, enough room to go up. And now like $5 or $3. Yeah, so don't like this stock BTU for today, at least. So I'll skip that. And this is also super important to understand, because sometimes you see that you have volume, you see that you have news and the movement, but basically if you don't really have enough space between those support and resistance levels, then it can't really give us a nice trade to trade. Twitter is up 46 cents, not a lot. It's after earnings, but we already saw what he did before the earnings, because Elon Musk. So I'll skip that as well. But I do like Qualcomm. You can see a $7 move, touching the 700,000 shares volume. So let's see what we have in Qualcomm. Trading at 142, 143. So those areas right here. The first level should be this one. You can see it played here perfectly. Then the gap, then another two touches right here at 143. And you have the close of the gap. This is also a great level at 145.50. If we will drop down, there is no major level here, because you can see it's a kind of compressed area, like consolidated. So the next one might be around this area of 137. So plenty of room to the downside. I actually really like it, because if we will go up, right now we're trading at 142.75. So if we will go up, we are getting into two major resistance levels. And the first one is 143 and the other one is 145.50. And you can also see that 200 EMA that should react as a resistance as well. So I really like this area to short Qualcomm. Let's go into the 1 minute chart and place some lines. So you can see we bounced up, reached those two areas in the pre and aftermarket, and the aftermarket and the pre-market. Right now trading below 200 EMA. That's also a great sign of weakness. And yeah, actually Qualcomm looking pretty good to the downside, breaking this area right here, 142.60. It looks like a nice short. probably all the way down to 140. And from that point, we will need to analyze it just a little bit more. The other option is moving higher, flashing everything out, taking this area around the 200 EMA and the VWAP, and from that point dropping down. So Qualcomm is definitely a one to look for. Facebook, TDOC, and there are maybe some others that we can watch, but you don't really need all of them. You need to be focusing on at least like 2-3 stocks, and those should be your bread and butter for the day. There are CMCSA and others that also looking good, but I'll be focusing on those. So I hope you guys like this video. If so, please make sure you share it, like it, subscribe to the YouTube channel and the other social media so we can continue to grow and give you more content. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them below, and I will see you next time. Take care.